We're
live. Hey, everybody. Welcome in to the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star, and this is Kim. If you're new to my channel, if you're here because you followed Kim here or because of List Perfectly, I know Clara was promoting. My name is... Oh, my phone thing is on.
hello.
That was the Mario Brothers. Nerd.
That's it.
Okay,
You're
so
teaching.
my name is Star, and I am one half of a business team. My life partner and business partner, Keith, is the quiet guy behind the scenes, and I'm the face of us. But we are both full-time resellers on many platforms because of List Perfectly, or we wouldn't be on so many. And we have the YouTube channel, and we have Instagram, which I'm really bad at keeping up with. And I mean,
you try.
Yeah, at least I try. But most of you probably already know who I am. So I'm going to let Kim introduce. She's been on the channel before. You guys are all familiar with her, I'm sure, from List Perfectly. But just tell us a little bit about yourself, sister.
Well,
we haven't been drinking.
That way. I'm friends with her. That's about it. No. No, my name is Kim. I have been a full-time reseller since November of last year, and I have just recently become a team member with List Perfectly. I cross post to 8 platforms, and I don't know what else should I say? I don't know. I'm not very exciting.
You're exciting.
I love Baby Yoda.
You love Baby Yoda, yeah. You like Harry Potter. You're kind of a nerd. You like to read.
Kind of.
Me and her have a lot in common.
Kind of.
I send her lists of these are the books you need to read. Oh yes, we need to introduce Kim's pet before I say hi to folks in the chat. So this is Boner McWiener, but we're gonna call him Boney.
Boney McWienerkins.
Boney McWienerkins. That's Kim's dog, y'all. This is how weird my friend is.
Okay, I can't deny that. I mean, anybody that has a dog skeleton in their house, there's something really.
I was trying to tell Keith about it, but you're like Jack Skellington. That's all. He's got that.
Yeah.
Is this dog a ghost though?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, Kim also writes blog posts for List Perfectly. I see that in the chat. So let me say hi to some people.
Oh, thank you.
Robert was here early to tell us to stop fiddle farting around. And Clara is here. Clara is in the house. She is the co-CEO and founder of List Perfectly. And off topic real quick, Kim and I will be live tomorrow on List Perfectly's YouTube channel with Clara to talk about mental health, which kind of ties in with what we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely.
So Kim and I have been talking all week and taking notes and saying, well, which show should we talk about this on and which one should, because mental health and motivation kind of meshes. So we'll be doing that show tomorrow with Clara. Cheryl's here. Yaya Rambles.
Hi, Cheryl.
Cheryl's the one you guys hear about on this channel all the time that I go thrifting with. She lives right up the road. Doug is in the house.
Doggy.
Snoop Dogg. Rusty Bucket. Welcome in. Shelly's here. Hey, Shelly, I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you. Trying to get through the chat. John says, do you still sell wholesale? Yeah, no. People are probably moving. It's kind of like yes and no. That's a long story. Yaya has 2 weeks until she's full time.
Oh my goodness.
August 19th.
I'm so proud of you, Cheryl.
All right. 2 weeks. So before we get started, I have a really exciting announcement. Yes. Has nothing to do with me or List Perfectly. But if you all are cross-posting to Poshmark and you are completely over it, guess what? You know what? I'm going to share my screen.
Oh, it's just beyond wonderful news, folks.
This is amazing. So I don't share our Poshmark closet. It's one of the things that Keith does because we try to divvy up our tasks. here, let me do this real quick. So you're looking at me while I tell you this, but Keith and I kind of like try to 50-50 the tasks, and I take everything that involves dealing with people. So I'm the one on the phone with our, we still buy a lot of wholesale. So we do get remotes and we have deals with people. So I have to be the one that's on the phone with our people and getting the invoices and doing all that. And I do the YouTube and the social media. So Keith does a lot of our computer work. He's the one that crossposts the most. Crosspost.
That's proper. We know what you're trying to say. From mostest with the cross-postest.
From our List Perfectly do all of our platforms. He does all of our Poshmark sharing and anything he can do on a computer that he doesn't have to deal with people. Sign him up, right? So
Yay, what a great partner.
He shares our closet once a day, though, because we have like 2,400 items, and it's a pain in the tahootie. So, the tahootie.
Look at you being all G-rated.
It's a pain in the ass, folks. So anyway, when you're on your Poshmark closet, go over here to these little tools over here. Sam, click them. Share to followers. Select all. Now, it's only going to select what has loaded in. So you will actually have to scroll. But as you scroll and they load in, it's selecting more. And if you know about the trick on your mouse, I can't show you on my screen, but the scroll button in the middle of your mouse, if you push it down and pull it, it will keep pulling that scroll bar down for you and just loading the page in. So if you have a mouse with a scroll button, you just click it in and it turns into that little round. You see it? Yep. And then you just pull it down and it will keep loading them in for you. And if you go back up to the top, you see it selecting them as it goes down. So you still have to, like, you know, sit here and wait for the whole page to load. But it's selecting them as it's loading. And I still think that is a lot more convenient than having to sit there. I was telling Kim, I listened to Keith. He only shares it once a day, but there are, you know, there's 4 in a row in your closet. I hear him click, 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 in like little groups of 4. I just hear him for like 20 minutes.
I just love him. That's amazing. So now, you know what's going to happen now? He's going to have to be assigned some new duties. I said duties.
You should share it twice or 3 times a day now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because, you know, he's not going to have to do it 4 at a time. It's like, boom, done. What do I do now? Oh.
So, buy bots. Yeah, no more bots.
Yeah.
You don't want bots in the first place. There's some Poshmark sellers that have, I'm trying to put this nicely, but they've gotten into it with me because, oh my gosh, it's not against the rules anymore. And I don't really know if it ever wasn't, but.
Not that I know of. I thought terms of service was.
Unless it's me or Keith or another human being we trust, ain't nobody touching my listings or my stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it doesn't work. There's so many of these bots that, I mean, that's all I hear are people saying, didn't work, it did this, it did that, it, you know, and it messed this up. Now I have to start over. What, you know, why? No.
And that's why I like List Perfectly. This isn't a List Perfectly video. It's a motivational show. But I do like that it pops up the tabs and your eyeballs are the last ones that see it and you decide when it goes live. Exactly.
There's so many things that you need to have hands-on, eyes on. It's a necessity if you want to have that peace of mind and not be sending something out that, you know, that could have a mistake or something like that. And I have done it before. I catch
myself all the time.
Yes.
I mean, I've been doing this for years and I'm a pro. But at least a couple times a week, I've got, 30 tabs open and I'm going through and I catch where I didn't do a space in the title. And now Word Alert catches it for me. But my favorite thing is to leave the R out of the shirt. I'm forever typing that shit. When I mean shirt, it's because I go so fast. But I'll leave the space out, or I'll notice, why does this jeans listing have no measurements in it? Because they're all here in a notebook I keep.
Yeah.
So
just think, though. I mean, bots are not the way to go with any aspect of your business. You're playing with fire. So This whole Posh thing, Poshmark.
Wait, Claire likes to say, you haven't been caught Yes.
Yeah.
Good for you, but you will be.
Just a matter of time. And yes, they're going to be coming and knocking on your door going, hey, it's not worth it.
No. So before we get into motivation,
You lucky dog.
so speaking of Cheryl, the last time we were out thrifting, I found something. And I haven't had an occasion to show it on the channel yet, because when I do my haul videos, I just like to show the clothing and talk about the different reasons why I source certain brands and prices I can fetch. More of a teaching haul, not, oh my God, look what I found for myself.
Yeah. That happens a whole lot more often than it should.
All right, so I have to tell a story. I'm in the jeans, red, white, and blue, the men's jeans. And the way they keep their clothing at red, white, and blue, they have these long aisles of clothes. They're really long, like in comparison to Goodwill and Salvation Army. They're big. So they're long. And then on top of the clothing, they have all these wire racks where they keep like hard goods and stuff. So as I'm going through the men's jeans, this woman just comes over and reaches over me. You know how people are. I'm biting my tongue. Yeah, I want to like, but I'm like, what the hell is so important up there that this woman has forgotten all her manners she learned in kindergarten? So I look up and I see this and I'm like, is that what she's after? Well, no, she grabbed, it was 4 generic plastic Tupperwares that were taped around together. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, she needs her generic Tupperware. But then I saw, you know, I'm like, so she's not taking this. But then I thought, that's got to be a knockoff. That can't be real because I've never seen these in any color but white. I don't deal in hard goods. So I'm not that educated or knowledgeable on hard goods. So I didn't know that these came in black.
So jealous.
You see it?
That's just
that is
crazy.
an
That's
official rain dye.
Focused, yes.
So I picked it up. I'm like, this has got to be a knockoff. I'm still going to buy it because it's cute. And my whole house is, well, there's tons of nerd stuff here that we decorate. But as far as color scheme, it's black and purple. And so I'm like, this is cool. Perfect. Perfect.
That was meant for you.
And it is.
That was meant for you.
Right on. And I didn't know they came in black. Yeah.
So
Cheryl
awesome.
was green with envy and very jealous. But I think she would have resold this.
Yeah. She didn't tackle you for that.
And it has a home. It has a home on our bar next to all of our nerd coffee mugs that we collect. So
that is so awesome.
See, I wanted to show it off so bad.
That is so weird, though.
$6. And I told Cheryl I was probably going to keep my K-cups in here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just so
cool. I know. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
She said, oh, yeah, she would have resold it. No, this is for Star's Kitchen.
Well, you know, at least she didn't buy it and then try to sell it to you.
I don't think she would.
No, she's too good of a friend.
She might. Yeah, and then she found a tea canister just a few weeks later in a white. And she messaged me and said, look what I found. And I'm like, were you keeping it for yourself? And she's like, no.
She's just, you know, just showing you that it can be found, but it's in white. So it's like,
Okay, so we're going to talk about some motivation.
Oh, yeah. That's
first I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about why it's so hard to stay motivated while you're at home. And then, Kim, when I'm done talking about all the reasons I came up with, if you have any to add.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about ways to get around those and address them. But I think one of the biggest hurdles or struggles for resellers, as far as stating, I can't even speak today. I promise I haven't been drinking. This is water. This is my Bubba. Okay, so this is my favorite tumbler. I take it with me, don't I, Cheryl? And then I take it into restaurants. Can I fill this up with water?
I'll bet they say yes.
Yeah, so Chick-fil-A nice. Chipotle even was even like, well, you can even put soda in there and I won't charge you for a soda with your lunch.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I just
making friends.
Water.
Just going out making friends, networking.
Tiffany is here, and she's so glad to see us together.
Hi, Tiffany. And Leslie's here. Hi, Leslie.
Okay, so one of the biggest hurdles and struggles for resellers, I think, to stay motivated is because we are our own boss. It 1000% takes a specific personality to be self-employed. A lot of people will start to be resellers and they won't make it, and that's okay. You got to have a certain kind of drive, a certain kind of personality. You have to be the right kind of person. And if that's not you, that doesn't mean you're a failure or you failed. It just means you don't have that kind of personality that can drive yourself. Mm-hmm. Some people need the stability of going somewhere, of having to get up to an alarm clock and going somewhere to clock in each day and be micromanaged and have someone tell them what to do. And if that's your personality, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not the type of person I think that can make it as a self-employed person. My personality is the complete opposite. I hate authority. I cannot stand authority. Every job I've ever actually had outside of the home, the first thing I did when I got my foot in the door was, how can I get promoted? How can I move up the chain? How can I become a boss? Yeah. Because I don't like authority figures. I don't like being told what to do. If you show me how to, like when I worked outside of the home, if you showed me how to do my job and told me what to do, I would just do it. I would go above and beyond. I would do more than what was expected. But the minute they started breathing down my neck and checking on me, I was like, you, man, I know what I'm doing. Get out of here.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about yourself or me? That's so familiar. Way too familiar.
I just don't. But I have that kind of personality, but it still doesn't mean that it's easy for me to stay motivated. I'm going to admit that today.
Oh, yeah. You're human.
I'm human. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life that I don't necessarily put out there to the public or talk about, but I have my struggles. Most of you know I have a disability. I suffer with chronic pain. I have insomnia. I have terrible migraines almost every day. One of my triggers for my migraines is when the barometric pressure changes, so like a thunderstorm. And guess what happens every day in Florida? So yeah, I struggle a lot with chronic, debilitating in bed. And I have medication for it, but it's abortive. It's Imitrex, so you have to take it ahead of time.
Oh my goodness.
If you miss your window, it doesn't help. And a lot of times when I take the Imitrex, I feel lightheaded and sick to my stomach, and dizzy. So that's a struggle. The back pain is a struggle. Lack of sleep. I don't sleep well. I have horrific allergies. Like right now, if I wasn't on camera, I'd be like ripping my nose off my face. And I take like 3 different allergies. So there's like a lot going on health-wise with me. There's a lot going on personal, just a lot of issues. So I'm human too. I know that I feel like a lot of YouTubers come on, reselling YouTubers, and we show you our hauls and we show you our what sold and we talk about our successes and our accomplishments, and we look like we really have our shit together. And I tell you what, we don't. You guys only see what I give you on camera.
Exactly. And they, there's so many that you it's like, come on, you're human. This isn't real life.
Yeah. And so I don't spend 24 hours a day on the camera. I spend a lot of time in pajamas, unshowered.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, man.
Wait, that's normal, isn't it? Yeah.
I put a real shirt on for the show, but I got pajamas on the bottom.
I would show everybody what I'm wearing, but I got shorts on. Nobody wants to see that. So
I got pajamas on, but so even I struggle. Any YouTuber that tells you they don't, I'm going to get some shit for this, but they're lying to you. Mm-hmm. No matter how successful a person is or how many accomplishments they have, they don't wake up every day happy to be alive and a reseller. I wake up most days happy to be alive. I like my job. I like that I don't have a boss breathing down my neck. I like that I roll out of bed in my pajamas and come into my office and do my thing. But when sales are slow, when life happens, it's hard to stay motivated. And it can be something as simple as, well, I had to go out and get groceries today, but when you get home and get them all put away and it was hot, it's like
you're completely zapped. Yeah.
You're zapped. You're like, how do I go in the office and work now?
Yeah. And then you have to find that, that groove you were in. And it's so hard sometimes.
PJs are the bomb. And most of my PJs,
oh.
most of mine are like old, threadbare holes in the armpit because they're like so comfortable in their shirts I've had for 6 or 7 years.
Yes.
They're so thin.
Well, and it's nice. It's good ventilation too. When you get enough holes in your clothes, it's like you just stay cooler.
It's like, well, most of my pajamas are like my favorite, so I've had them. And then I'll have to run up to like the store and I'll be like, well, I guess if I don't lift my arm, no one will know there's holes.
Or what you do is you just carry a coffee can with you, and that way maybe you'll get some donations.
But yeah, like for me, one of the biggest hurdles for like doing YouTube is the motivation to look like this. This isn't pretty, but
oh, stop it.
Well, I'm not saying I'm a super mom, but for me, I like putting my hair on top of my head and not wearing makeup and not having a shower and looking homeless and smelling gross and just working from my house. I don't see anybody. Like, I put my packages out on the porch and the guy picks them up. And sometimes if I hear him, I'll poke my head out and hand him a cold water. But, I just, for me to like, here we go. I got to blow dry my hair and put makeup on. So my motivation isn't so much for the actual reselling side of it. It's the YouTube. It's hard for me to want to be camera ready, but I'm all about coming in my office and doing cross-posting, listening, and turning my shows on and taking pictures. I love that part, but I kind of digressed there. So the biggest hurdle, I think, is that you have to be driven. There's no one else in this world to kick you in your ass and keep you on track and give you your tasks each day and micromanage you if you're your own boss.
Exactly. And when I worked out in the corporate world, I mean, and it still is. I mean, I'm still adjusting, and it's been since November. It's an adjustment to go from all that structure to, okay, I have to make my own structure now. Where do I start?
Because there isn't any. You wake up in the morning or whenever I sleep till 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm a night owl. I work like on a second shift schedule, which is the beautiful part of working from home. Because like you guys know, I'm really close with Bill and David. It's so funny when we talk we have to like schedule our times to talk on the phone every week because Bill gets up at 3:30 in the morning to go do the flea market. And Dave gets up at 4 because he likes to start shipping at 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
So they like to go to bed around 8 or 9. Around 8 or 9, I'm like, I just finished work. I'm ready to go play a video game, talk on the phone. But everyone's different. Mm-hmm. And that's the beautiful part. And like Robert, a lot of you know Robert, my partner in crime and Plush. He works third shift. So
that's so cool because we can do that
for like noon or 1, and then he works all night, and that's his schedule. And everyone is different, and we can do that. I ain't got to put in a request slip to my boss to say, "Can I?" Yes, because I do better when I sleep till 10 or 11.
Yeah. It's and like I was saying, it's an adjustment to go from one to the other, but there again, you slowly start seeing that freedom, even though you still need to stay focused and on a schedule and, and everything, but you start feeling that flexibility. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is what I've been missing out on for 22 years. What?
Yes. But you still have to. And I think that's where a lot of resellers fell too. Yeah. If you don't have the right personality, it's easy to, well, I don't feel like it today, so I'm going to go fiddle fart around.
Yeah.
And it's easy, but you can't do that. So when we have, and Shelly says she's very much a hermit. Y'all ain't met a hermit until you've met Keith, okay? I mean, I come out once or twice a year to go to Vegas or wherever for these events. I'm going to North Carolina in a few weeks for the FlipCon, and I will be at Reseller Remix again in October. So I'm excited, but it's so much. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, and this will tie into the mental health topic tomorrow. When I come home from events like that, it takes me 2 months to recover and stop being anxious.
Mm-hmm.
I like going. I love I call them my once a year friends. I love seeing everybody. I love the event itself. I love what I learn. I love the networking. I love connecting. Mm-hmm. But for my personality, I am outgoing and I love people and I love that. But there's also, what do they call that? Extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert?
Yeah, something like that.
So I get home from these events and for 2 months, I've just got to like
unplug completely.
That was too much. I have so much anxiety right now. And even at the events, like I'm the type of person that loves people and events, but sometimes, and I think I said this in the group, if anyone thought I was rude last year, I was probably having anxiety.
Well, and see, I felt the same way. I was like, I mean, it was the first time I'd ever been to Vegas. I was still part-time, reseller at that time. And I felt, I mean, I felt just not overwhelmed in a bad way, but it's just like,
it's too much.
Oh my gosh, this is, I'm not in my house. I'm not safe in my house.
Cheryl says we have standing Wednesday day. We do. Aww. Because on a scale of 1 to 10, Keith is a 10 of a reclusive hermit, and I'm like an 8. And he doesn't even like to thrift.
Oh yeah.
But we have to. It's part of our job. So it's something that we do. But when I go with her, he's like, thank God. Because when I go with her, we spend the whole day and I come home with enough for like a month. Because he's got his remotes that are shipped right to us.
Yeah.
So whatever I come home with. So thrifting is part of my job. I have to do it. But honestly, y'all, as my Southern grandmother used to say, if I had my druthers, I would like never leave the house. I would have all my inventory shipped here. I would order all my groceries shipped here. And once a year, I might venture out to see my friend. I don't know. I'm very reclusive.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. And we plan our schedule because we don't like to go out of the house.
Yeah.
The day that we have to go get groceries, we go to the post office. We do everything we have to do in one day. And it's like, woo, it's overwhelming. But we know it's going to happen ahead of time. We got a plan.
Yep.
And when we get home, like we were saying earlier, it's hot. You're tired. You get the groceries put away. You're exhausted. It doesn't matter. If it's 2:00, I know I got 4 hours till I'm going to start dinner. Or maybe we bought something, the stuff to make sandwiches. So it's easy.
Yeah.
And I got to go work. I got to.
Yeah. Yep.
So how do you get from I don't want to work, I'm not motivated. How do you get yourself to the point where you'll do it even when you don't want to do it because it's so ingrained and it's such a routine? Routines.
Yeah. And you are good. Oh my goodness. I have so much to learn from you.
If you have,
I need to get a bullet journal.
You do.
I want to be you when I grow up.
Well, you need a bullet journal. Let me see if well, here's tomorrow.
Yeah. See.
And see, on Saturday, I got to get into Adobe on my computer. And I don't know. I write a lot of personal stuff, so I'm always careful.
Okay, we don't need to see that.
It's a bullet journal. So, but I mean, when you have routines, and I talk about this on the channel all the time, it takes 30 days to build a routine or a habit. So you've got to force yourself to do something for 30 days before it becomes a habit. But I feel like once it's a habit, it's so ingrained. When I get up in the morning, I make my bed every morning. I can't imagine not. Now, there was a time when I didn't, like when I used to have to get up at 5 a.m. and go to work.
Yeah.
It didn't care, but
Yeah. Yeah. Bed? Make a bed. What's that?
But we make our bed every morning. We get up, we make our bed, and then I brush my teeth, I wash my face. I have a specific routine and I cannot deviate.
Mm-hmm.
If I deviate, my whole day's thrown off.
Yeah.
So, but it's because of years of doing the same thing in the same order, and it just becomes ingrained. So my entire day, not on a time schedule, but in a certain order. And it doesn't have to be that every day is the same as every day. Okay.
Yeah.
The days we go grocery shopping are different than Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
But every Wednesday is the same. This is the routine.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
That's.
And so even when I don't want to work, when I don't feel like it, when I'm discouraged, when sales are slow, when something happens unexpectedly that comes up and I have to deal with it, I will still always find myself doing what I need to do because it's autopilot. It's ingrained. I have to do these things. And that could be part of my OCD, and that ties in with the mental health as well. I have insomnia, anxiety, OCD, and PTSD. That's probably the most I've ever shared about myself on this channel. But doing the same things in the same order is something that people with anxiety need to soothe that anxiety. But OCD, you crave it. You got to have that. And I will tell you, when things do deviate and go outside of my schedule, I do freak out. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if you guys watch Kevin Hart, but he had this whole stand-up where his safe word was pineapples. So whenever I don't like anything, I'm going, it's pineapples. It's pineapples.
So then when Keith hears pineapples, he knows it's time to like herd you into a corner and
yeah. And like if we have a plan that we're gonna go to this store, this store, this store, this store, and then something happens to where, like, well, we had a flat tire a few weeks ago. Flat tire is not a big deal, you guys. It's not. But holy shit, was it the end of the world to someone like me who had plans and an order to do things. It was.
Yeah, I know.
I was on the side of the road screaming at Keith.
Like, we're gonna hurry up.
Well, he was like, you're gonna have to call somebody because the jack was broke in my trunk. And it wouldn't work. And I don't know that anybody on this channel is going to understand my morbid humor, but I looked at him and said, who am I going to call, Keith? My dead parents? Are they going to come help us?
Oh no. See that I can see. Oh my goodness. Now see, you should have recorded that. You know, who needs to
Oh my gosh, it was awful, and it was hot, and it wasn't a big deal, but it's stuff like that can throw your whole day off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We ended up, he is a member of AAA, so we called AAA. Thankfully, we broke down by a Publix, so we went inside and got sub sandwiches and drinks. And when we got home, we were gross and sweaty, so everybody got showered and dressed, and then we just decided, you know what, we're gonna have to work tonight.
Yeah.
But that's that routine. It's most people would allow something like that by the time they got home and had dealt with it and everything, would have said, well, the whole day's shot.
Oh, well, no. And see, you know what motivates me in situations is I think about the consequences of not getting it done. It's like, okay, Kim, if you don't do this, you know, get this done before the day's end, you're going to have to do it tomorrow. But you've already got a list of things tomorrow started that you need to do, you know. So that helps me a lot as far as motivation. It may not be the most pleasant or positive, you know, motivation to have to, you know, dig into, but I always think that way. You know, it's like, oh, if I wait and don't do this now, or if I man, that's
well, things get heavier the longer you put them off. Exactly. So a very tiny task, even something as small as I need to go in and change my address on my bank. I need to log in on. I'm just coming up with an example, but if you need to change your address and you put it off and you put it off, things get bigger. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something as small as that or something as big as having to pay a bill online and you just, I don't have time, I'm listing. Whatever it is, when you put things off, they get bigger and heavier and bigger and heavier. And then when you finally do it, you're like, what? That was so easy. Why did I? What was going on?
And then,
why am I talking like this?
And then you go, man, that was okay. And then, 2 months later, you do the same thing. It's like, did I not learn from what I just, So yeah, it's, you have to do that kind of thing, and then remember it. Keep that thought process in your head.
Well, I was just reading Doug's comments. These are very important.
Ah, yes. Have my.
Yep. Look, guys, these are important. Even if you have a bullet journal, even if you have a dry erase board, which I also recommend and Doug has. I have a bullet journal, but my bullet journal is full. Oh, I think I just knocked some out. I have Post-it notes with things in it I need. I've got Post-it notes, marking spots. And speaking of doing things ahead of time, I try to plan a menu every week and then grocery shop according to what I'm going to cook. I don't cook every night, y'all. I love to cook. I love it. I'm not a chef, by any means, because I really feel like there's a difference between a professional chef and I can cook, but I can't make snails or fancy stuff. But I love to cook and I plan a menu, but I usually plan 2 nights a week where I'll cook something big and then we have leftovers in between. But a lot of my stuff I crock pot. And you'd be amazed at what you can make in a crock pot. I make all kinds of homemade soups, Cajun pasta. Really? I have chicken pot pie on for today.
In a crock pot?
In a crock pot. Well, we call it chicken not pot pie, but
that's cool though.
But the night before, when if I'm doing tonight's meal, I would, for instance, how am I trying to say this? Last night we ate just lemon pepper chicken that I baked. Yeah. So while that was in the oven baking, Keith and I emptied the dishwasher, got the kitchen clean, multitasking, guys. And then I got the crock pot ready, put it in the fridge. I took a Post-it note, wrote crock pot, stuck it to the coffee pot. So this morning I'm like, yes, I got to put it on. But
there you go.
If you get yourself in routines and you plan ahead and you do things ahead, and your life will be so much easier. And it's not just with reselling. If you're cooking, even if you're doing a frozen pizza, it's in the oven for 20 minutes. What can you be doing in that 20 minutes instead of just on Facebook waiting for your pizza? You got 20 minutes. Can you unload your dishwasher? Can you prep your meal for tomorrow? Can you run in and move 50 things from eBay to list perfectly? Can you take 10 pictures? Can you fold a load of laundry? Can you start a load of laundry? And that's how I think all the time. I'm constantly thinking, what else can I be doing right now while this is happening?
And in the process of you doing that, you are also making time for yourself that will come later, so you can reward yourself because you have planned ahead and you've gotten all this done. And that's something else that I want to mention is, as far as motivation, if you can't find motivation in anything else, just think, okay, if I get this done, this list of stuff done, I can reward myself with this. Always have some kind of a reward waiting for you. I find that, things are a lot easier to work towards or get done when you can go, okay, I've got, when I get done, like you say, when I get done with this, and then Friday night, I get to play Pokemon. I mean, you have to have.
I'm a nerd.
No, I think it's cool. But
I love Pokemon.
But see, you work so hard and you keep everything organized and you think ahead and you do all of those things. So that way you do have time for yourself.
Yes, and I believe in the reward system, absolutely. And that ties in with time management. If you're somebody who does like to just scroll through TikTok or Facebook, that is such a time suck and a huge waste of time. But if you tell yourself, if I get all my pictures done, I can look, but you got to do it on timers. I recommend timers because there's certain things in the world that are time sucks and you can really just waste a lot of time. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they are a waste of time. If you enjoy scrolling through TikTok and Facebook, that then that's what you enjoy doing, do it. But set a timer so you don't get lost in the world of cats and whatever else is out there. So finish your pictures, set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes, and allow yourself to immerse yourself. And when the timer goes off, go list 10 things, go back and spend 10 more minutes on Facebook. Set your timers, give yourself rewards, get lots of work done, and take breaks. But don't take long breaks. Like, don't go try to watch a movie as a reward in the middle of the day.
No. Yeah, that always turns into 2 movies or a movie and a nap.
Well, 2 hours is a lot of time in the middle of the day during your work day. Think about it. If you just get your work done, then you can watch a movie at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the way I am. It's like I can't. I mean, and everybody's different. Some that can do that. That's great, but it's one of those things where I want to get everything done that I need to get done. That's on my list or whatever, and then go and relax or whatever, instead of breaking my day up like that. Because when I get done, it's like, okay, it's all off. I'm done. I'm unplugging. Yeah. I'm not going back to it because but everybody's different. So
everybody's different. Whatever. But when I'm done, I'm done. Like when it's the end of the day and I'm completely done with my work, and we make sure that any housework we need, any prep for tomorrow, I wash my face, I'm in my jammies, and that's it. It's either I'm reading till bedtime or a movie or a video game.
Exactly.
Hey, Rhonda, welcome in. Hey, Robert says good morning. See, I told you guys. We were talking about Robert.
It. Yeah, he made it. Yay, Robert.
Yay. But speaking of to-do lists and getting everything done, one of the things I do want to talk about, and Kim and I were talking about this, and it's something your grandmother, your mom, I don't know why I said your grandmother. Your mom.
Did you hear that? She's watching.
Well, because my grandma said the thing about the druthers, and that's on my mind.
Yeah.
Your mom, hi mom, and my dad actually gave me and Kim the same advice growing up, and it's get the thing you want to do the least out of the way first.
Yes, thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Dad. But if you get the worst stuff done first and out of the way, it's over with. It kind of goes back to the whole things get bigger and heavier. But do what you don't like doing first, so it's just done and it's out of the way.
And the dread's gone. The dread of doing that 1 or 2 things that you dislike the most.
Then you can do one thing you like.
Yeah.
And that looks different for everybody. I have a reseller friend who does any housework she needs to do first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I do it in the evenings. Yeah. I like cleaning. But eat the frog first. Yeah, you got it. So what I hate doing the most is shipping and photos.
Mm-hmm.
So I get those out of the way first, and then I do my computer work in the afternoon after lunch, and I can have a show on and show. And that's a reward system too. If I get my pictures taken, and by the way, I'm not taking pictures today for things I'm listing today. I'm taking pictures today for things I'm probably going to list 2 weeks from now. It's about having extra. You said that too. Thinking ahead of time. So, and you don't have to spend an entire Sunday taking 100 pictures to get yourself in a position where I'm at, where I can say, I have all these extra pictures. I have all these, and then I have drafts ready too. So I have like hundreds of extra pictures, but then I'll have like 30 things in list perfectly ready to go that I can push out. Yeah. But when I list 10 items today, I don't just push out 10 items from those that are prepared. I do, but then I replace them so that I put them back so that the next time I have a flat tire and my whole life goes to shit, I can come home and say, I don't have a lot of time today, but let me just push 10 out because I had the extra. But anytime I can replace them, I do. Anytime I use pictures. So always have extra, but you don't have to spend an entire, what I did to build this up was, I list 10 things a day. So instead of taking 10 pictures a day, I take 15 or 20. Mm-hmm. And I just built up a little bit at a time. Now I can only do 10 a day and just keep that extra momentum.
Right.
I always have extra videos recorded. When I do feel like doing this, I bring in a stack of t-shirts here and I get a list here of things I want to talk about on camera, and I just film like 8, 9, 10 videos in one day and just different shirts, and then I hold them. So that may be why sometimes you'll see me say, hey, I went sourcing on July 3rd with Cheryl, and you're like, but it's August 4th. Why is this video just coming out?
That's funny. But it's like, hey, people, come on, don't give her a hard time. She's getting videos up. But like you said, it's like being able to I say save for a rainy day. That's basically what you're doing, and by doing that, by having, extra stuff set aside, extra pictures, extra listings, all of that set aside, that also helps take away some of that anxiety and stress, because you go, okay, if something does go awry, I know I have these in the bank, and then there again, it comes back to mental health that we're going to talk about tomorrow. That plays a huge part, especially in like motivation and, and that kind of thing, because if you are, struggling with depression or anxiety, that comes into play with your motivation as well, because, if you're having a bad day as far as, your depression or whatever, it's gonna affect your workflow. It's gonna affect your workday. So,
and
all
anxiety
of that
too, because everything can seem overwhelming, like there's just too much. And that's why I always preach, break it down into lists. If you look at the overall picture, even a person without anxiety could probably feel overwhelmed. But if you have on a piece of paper that says, I need to do shipping, I need to take pictures, I need to do listings, and you only look at one thing at a time.
Yes.
One thing at a time. How do you eat an elephant?
I was just gonna say that.
How do you eat a hippo? One bite at a time.
Do it. Yes.
One bite at a time. So you got to create these solid routines that you're going to have to force yourself through for 30 days. Then it becomes a habit. And practice with other stuff, like drink water every day for 30 days. It'll become a habit. Make your bed every morning for 30 days. Get up, get dressed like you're going to work. If you have to. For the longest time I did. I could not work in my pajamas for like the first 4 years I was a reseller, because it was so ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
That if I was coming in my office and sitting at the desk, I had to be fully dressed for the day, like I was going to work. And if I was in my pajamas, I couldn't get motivated to work. I could not get myself in the right mindset.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore, but you got to figure out what's free. Some people can work from bed.
Ooh, no. I'd fall asleep and then that'd be all over with. No.
Yeah, but some people do. They work from bed on their phone, and at a necessity, even if you have health issues.
That's true. That's very true. And it's, if it works for you, by golly, do it. Do it.
Yes, and water is good for a lot of things, including mental health. Clara just pointed out. Actually, water is good for so many things, and I don't like it. It's plain. Yeah. I like soda, like diet sodas. I like coffee. I drink diet soda though, because soda's empty calories. But I try to limit. But I like, when I go out to eat, I want a boozy drink. When I, have dinner, I like coffee. But you gotta drink water. At the end of the day, this is how you got to think of it. Even if you're drinking juice or tea or something healthier, would you take a bath in that?
Yeah, exactly. There's still your kidneys and everything else has to process it.
Yes. So you have to clean the insides the same way you would take a shower. So if you wouldn't take a shower in tea or juice, it's probably not cleaning the insides like water does.
That's a good way to look at it. Because I know I'll fully admit, everybody, I don't drink enough water. I just don't. My main source of hydration is diet root beer, and that's bad. Don't do that.
No, we actually buy those iced waters. They're flavored seltzer waters.
Oh yeah.
They're not as good for you as regular water, but it's a start.
I do get
It's
those
like
sometimes
having a
too.
soda because there's the fizz and the taste.
Yeah. And see if I need to start doing at least start doing that, you know.
I just keep this in my office and nothing else, and so there's
See,
nothing
that's
else
a
to
good
drink.
idea because once I sit down, it's all over with. I mean,
I make my iced water my first one of the day when I do my iced coffee, and I bring them both in here. And then when the coffee's gone, this is my only option.
that's you know what.
And when I go out for lunch, I make myself fill it again. And then I just carry it everywhere I go in the car, and this is always with me. So I drink it because it's here.
Wow. See, oh my goodness, I think I just had an epiphany. Seriously, I'm like, why don't I do that?
You're in your office.
Do that. I can
Only
do that.
bring water in because when you get to working and you're sitting here and you're busy. You don't get up a lot.
I mean, I get up to go to the bathroom, but that's about it.
You should be getting up more than that. By the way, guys, you should be getting up once an hour.
Yeah, see, now I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but yeah. So yeah.
I couldn't imagine life. I love soda so much. I let myself drink one a night with dinner.
Yeah.
And on the weekends I'll go a little crazy. I love diet like Coke Zero and Pepsi Zero.
Yes. Oh. And when I do drink diet soda. I don't drink caffeinated. This is actually this is really probably sounds gross, but this is actually a drink mix. I've actually put water and pineapple sugar-free drink mix. But I used the bottle because I just had it and I was like, oh, I'll just use this bottle and reuse the bottle. But most of the time I'm drinking just, diet root beer. But yeah, that's bad.
There's your habit. I challenge you for the next 30 days to make yourself drink water every day.
Yeah, and you know what? I am going to take that challenge and I am going to no.
And just as a side note, if you have it really cold with ice, it takes your body more calories to process it.
And see, that's a big problem with me is whatever I'm drinking, I want it to be ice cold. I mean, I've got those koozie things that you can freeze. They've got that blue gel actually in them. And I have to have my drink, whatever it is, super, super cold. So I'll just pop a can of soda in one of those. And I've got 2 of them that I rotate out. So why do that when I can just get a big, huge deal of ice water? And
you need a metal tumbler.
No, okay.
I'm telling you, I take this thing out in Florida heat in the car, and my ice will still be in there at the end of the day.
I've got a couple
of metal tumblers are so amazing.
I've got a couple of the Bubba brand, but they're like that's what I used to take to work with me when I was working outside the home. But they're those huge jugs.
This
I'll just get one of those.
24 ounces, and it was $12 on Amazon. I'll send you an affiliate link.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah, eBay's going to be starting in a little bit. So don't feel like you have to stay here, but we are not done. We have a couple more points to cover. Because the whole thing with the routines and staying on task and being motivated isn't just for reselling. You've got to have it. It has to be seamless. Your whole life has to be that way. Because if you don't have a control on when you eat and how long your lunch break is, and you don't get sucked into a movie at lunchtime, it's going to affect your work. But if you don't have a control on this is my work schedule, this is my work routine, this is when I work, you run the risk of working too much, which isn't healthy. You've got to have a balance. That's why the reward system is great. If I finish all my work all week, I work hard. You guys have heard a million times, Keith and I take off at 4:00 on Fridays, and we fart around. We play video games, we watch movies, we order in food. Ahsoka gets French fries and pizza too. The ham even gets rewarded, but and then Saturdays and Sundays we don't do our normal work routines. We don't take pictures and lists. We do all the stuff. There is some stuff that no matter how good of a routine you have, that's stuff that you never get around to during the week. Like you got to move stuff to your garage, or you got to move stuff up to wherever you keep your inventory, all that kind of stuff. So we take care of that on the weekends, and then we have more time, and we use it as productively as possible, like for projects and stuff. But you gotta have that balance because it's just not healthy to work all the time either.
Yep, that's very true.
So why it is hard to work from home and stay motivated, I think, like I said, the biggest reason is you got to be driven, and then distractions. And those are easy to get rid of. You just got to acknowledge what yours are. Some folks can work while watching movies. I can. Specific movies. There's certain movies that I can't. Like I got to sit down and watch. Some people need music. Some people need quiet. Some people need to shut the door and just shut the world out. And some people can go to Starbucks and work in a crowd of noise.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what your distractions are and get rid of them. You need routines, schedules. So having slow sales can lead to discouragement and lack of motivation as well. I want to say one thing about that. I don't know where I put it in my note.
Yeah, it's like I had to get my notes out here.
But like even places like Walmart and Amazon are reporting that their numbers are down.
Mm-hmm.
And if somewhere like Walmart, where everybody and their brother and their sister and their mom's dog shops, is reporting low numbers, how do you expect that you're any different, right?
Very true. And you can't continually beat yourself up. I mean, in doing that, you're hurting yourself. And I mean, you need to review and see if you can improve or whatever, but you also need to look at the big picture as far as like, well, like you said, Walmart is down, Amazon is down, seasoned sellers that have been selling for 25 years, they're having issues. So, it's not just you. So
it's not you, it's the economy. It's what's going on in the world. If Walmart is, and almost everybody in the world shops at Walmart. We all go there for our toilet paper or our groceries or something. And they're reporting that their numbers are down.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm never discouraged. I'm not saying I don't have days where I'm just like, God darn it. I'm so like,
son of a biscuit eater.
I quit all the time. I'm not going to lie. Almost once a week, I tell Keith, I'm not doing YouTube anymore. Almost, once a month, I quit Reselling. I get so stupid.
For what, 2 seconds? No.
It happens. But the thing is, once you realize it's not just you. Now, if the economy was booming right now and everybody else was making tons of money in sales and yours were in the pooper, then you probably need to reassess your titles, your pictures, your keywords.
Exactly.
But everyone's down. Do that, though. That's the thing. We are all in a downturn right now and sales are slow, so you're spending less time on shipping and looking for your inventory every morning. So use that time to update your listings, check your titles, check your optimization, check your pictures, check your prices, and list more. Yes, it seems counterintuitive if you're selling less, go spend more and get more inventory. But honestly, you have more time right now to do that. So if you still can't afford it, which if you've followed this channel for any amount of time, I have told you a million times to follow Dave Ramsey and have that safety net and the capital and the money saved.
I love him.
You still would have money right now, right? So, but if you're listing more now, there has to be a turnaround at some point. There has to be a time when the economy gets better. So if you allow yourself to be discouraged and allow that to affect your motivation, and you say, well, screw it, things are bad, I'm just going to sit here at 1,200 listings. Let's say I was doing that as an example. But Kim is over here going, well, yeah, it's bad, but I listened to Dave Ramsey. I listened to Stars. I have capital. So I'm going to keep buying inventory. I'm going to keep listing. And even though nothing's selling or things are selling slower, I'm selling half of what I used to, I can grow faster. So instead of sitting at 1,200 listings, I'm going to grow to 3,000. So then Q4 hits or whenever this turnaround hits or the economy looks better and people start spending money again, I've only got 1,200 listings that maybe I didn't even optimize because I allowed myself to be discouraged. Kim's over here with 3,000 optimized listings, and she's going to start selling. That's my alarm to make sure my packages got picked up. She's going to start. Yeah, I have an alarm every day at 4:00.
You go, girl.
Have had one day where our normal guy is great, but his substitute
leaves a little left to be desired, huh?
Yeah, we just check and then we run them up, but that's a story for another day. But anyway,
yeah.
If you can stay motivated and you can keep listing and keep optimizing, when folks start spending money again, you have more up to sell. And when you have a bigger net, you will sell more. If you have 1,000 listings that are kind of mediocre or 3,000 completely optimized listings, who's going to sell more?
Well, and also, if you're continuing to optimize and, continuing to list, you're also upping the competition that isn't doing all of that because they're discouraged. They're, in the humdrum doldrums or whatever. As long as you continue to be productive, whatever that might be. Don't let the downturn make you not be as productive as you would be otherwise.
You should be more productive because you have more time.
Exactly.
And even aside from what's going on this year with the economy and the recession and everything, every summer was slow prior to this. There was always a summer slowdown. And those of us that knew what we were doing used that summer slowdown to build up for Q4. And Robert has a good point. A lot of people are quitting, so you can buy people out.
Mm-hmm.
You can advertise on your Instagrams or even keep an eye out locally. People are selling their stuff.
Yeah.
So another thing that's hard to stay motivated is when you're sick or you don't feel well. But I say to that, like even when you work outside of the house, you're allowed a certain amount of sick days. You're allowed to not feel good. Don't beat yourself up. If you really are sick and you need a day, take a day.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a week, take a week. But get back to it as soon as possible.
Exactly.
Don't beat yourself up, but also don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's days where I have to take an entire day off because of my health issues. But I either like lay on the heating. If it's my back, I'll lay on the heating pad and try to work from bed. If it's a migraine, I'm out.
Well, yeah, I can see that. And see there again, you plan ahead for those kinds of things. You know your body, you know yourself, that kind of thing, and you've planned ahead for those events. So, of course, you don't want them to happen. You don't want to feel that headache. You don't want to be incapacitated. By those events and stuff. But you have planned ahead, and it takes goes back to the mental health thing. It takes away a little bit of that stress and that apprehension. It's like, okay, I can allow myself to take this afternoon off because I have a debilitating migraine right now.
Yeah.
So
you can also play hooky. Like, guys, guess what? If you get really organized and you have tons of extra pictures and tons of extra listings and you have a really great routine and schedule in place, once in a while you can just say, I don't feel like working today.
Yeah.
But I've done enough and there's enough that I can just take today off. You can't do it all the time. And if you don't have good routines in place, I would say not to do it. If you list every day consistently, it's okay to take a day off. Once in a while, go play hooky.
Mm-hmm. I bet you don't, though.
I went to Orlando.
Such a hard worker.
Yeah.
You're such a hard worker, though.
I took off in May to drive to Orlando to see Trish and Diane.
Well, that's true.
But I did list that morning.
Oh, stop now. See, no, self-defeating. You don't want to get into that whole self-defeating thing either.
No, but I'm always prepared. I always know what my schedule is going to look like too. So I try to plan everything. So like I had to go meet with, this sounds so prestigious. I had to go meet with my financial advisor concerning my investments and CDs and stuff Monday.
Yeah.
But I knew I was going to meet with him. So last Friday, while I was listening to the list perfectly, live show, I was just getting stuff ready, like all the extra pictures I had and all the stuff I talk about. In my catalog, I've got like 10 listings ready to go so that Monday morning, right after we did shipping, I pushed 10 out real quick before I got ready to go meet him.
That's awesome.
So, hey, busy girl, welcome in. So I try to always like know what I'm going to be doing. That's where the schedule and the bullet journal is so important because I can always look ahead, and I do. I take a little bit of time every Sunday evening. Every Sunday evening, I look back at the former week. Did I hit my goals? Did I do everything I said I was going to do?
Yeah.
And if I didn't, why? Was I being too lofty? Is it not possible to do all the things I want to do in a day? Or is it because life happened? Or is it something I did and I need to fix it? Yeah. And then I look forward to the next week and plan my goals for that week. And then try to take note of any times I know I have appointments or I'm going to be out of the house. Or like usually on Fridays, I spend all day getting ready for the next week. But I know I have a live show tomorrow. So I've kind of done some of that yesterday and today.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'll be live with you guys instead of just listening to List Perfectly.
And we appreciate that so much.
But see, and that's another thing. I love to go to the List Perfectly live show every Friday. And I can sit there for 2 hours and just watch you guys. Or I can plan accordingly. And I multitask. So
exactly.
I'm probably the poster child for someone you want to talk to whenever you need to know how to be organized. You guys need to get bullet journals, and you don't have to have a fancy, expensive. This is cute though. This is for bookworms.
I've seen some of the affiliate ones that you've posted though, and they're not expensive. You know, you can get it, like you said, there's non-fancy ones that are just as productive, but yes, like
well, this is going to be next year's, I think. But this one I liked because it had the tabs. But this is just a plain notebook, and I have videos on here, and you can YouTube other folks on how to take a plain notebook and turn it into a bullet journal. And then this one Robert gave me last year. If he's still in the chat. Nice. It's still in its plastic because I like it so much.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh,
I know. I love this journal so much that I can't bear to open it and write in it.
Oh, that is so awesome. Yes.
I love stationery though. So I do have like certain journals I just collect.
I've been that way ever since I started getting school supplies. I love new pencils, new paper, all that stuff. It's just...
Well, here's these that you sent me.
Oh, who got those?
And I have something. I ordered these on sale off of Robert's affiliate link.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Sharpies.
So, but I mean, I even have just like little notebooks like this.
Yeah.
And you can make bullet journal. You could go spend $1 on this.
Yeah.
And you can make a bullet journal or have a book for your to-do list. So you can actually get like actual planners. Or you can get, this was, I think, $12. I can't remember, 11 or 12. But it's really easy. Let me see if I have, this is last year's. Such a nerd.
No, you're not. I'm completely fascinated here. I love it.
So like you can create it yourself with dates. There's all, and it depends on how much you want to do. So you can absolutely Google it or YouTube it. Some folks paint pictures, some marker pictures. Some people are just like me and just do like a list of dates, and I do use stickers. You can see I use stickers.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I mean, and it can be as little or as much as you want. There's some people that use, get a plain notebook and just put the dates and stuff they have to do. And then there's people that make portraits, and it's whatever you have time for, whatever you want to do. And if you like to draw and stuff like that, that's a good activity. It's
exactly that can be your reward, to decorate your notebook that you're going to use for work. It's something that I saw earlier today when I was looking at stuff, and I'm going to try it, but I don't know we'll see how it works. But there was a suggestion about taking like all of your having two different browsers. Have a work browser and then your casual browser. Keep them separate and only be on your like work browser when you're working. And that's going to have all of your, whatever you use on your computer.
I actually do that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Because I on my notes, the notes that you sent me, I made a note on that because I wanted to mention that.
Yeah,
I want to try that.
Google browser for work, and it has all my Now I'm backwards, so I have my. Yeah. Let me show you.
It's so cool.
So this bar is supposed to be down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Most people's bar, and now my World of Warcraft is there because that's just part of my computer.
Yeah.
But hey, there I was cross-posting before we went live. I have to finish. But yeah, this has like all my main platforms. It has all my affiliate links, my bookkeeping separated in folders, and then I do have both my emails here, the one we use for work, and then my personal one. But that's so I don't miss anything important.
Right.
But then I have another browser that's just like social media up here and stuff. Now I do have a social media here for work, but that's because I do use it for work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do.
Sure. Yeah. So then I have a separate one set up that's just like my Pokemon stuff and
my Star Wars stuff. I took notes and I'm, writing it down, and I thought this might be something that everybody does, and it's, so simple, but it's one of those things that I had never thought of doing. And
well, the other thing, speaking of keeping things separate, that I see helps is if you have a workspace. Now, like I said, some people do work from bed. Some people can work in their living room and be fine.
Yeah.
It just depends on your personality. But if you find that having distractions or you're just not getting it done, you may have a personality similar to mine, where I have to have my work and my recreation spaces separate.
Yeah.
And if you don't have an extra room for an office, that's fine, but carve out a corner. Get a table. You don't have to spend money on a desk. Go get a $15 table from Walmart.
Yeah.
And put it in a corner of the room, the living room, the bedroom, and carve out that area and say, this is where I sit and work.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here is where I sit to watch TV at night, or over here is where I read.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, that's something else that I've heard is some people need that separation. And like you said in the beginning, when you first started, you would get up and you would get dressed like, I say like a human. I mean, that's what I call it.
I still didn't put makeup on if I wasn't going on camera outside of the house.
No, but and some people that's what works for them. So if you need to get up and you have to put on real people clothes, and you need that that little corner or that whatever it is that separated space, then do it if that's what you need to do. And sometimes you don't know that's what you need until you do it and you try it, because you have to have that separation. At least I know I do. You have to be able to separate the two, because it's too easy for the two to mesh together.
It is. And I mean, even Keith, like I have a gaming laptop and I do use this for work. Mm-hmm. But this is what I play World of Warcraft on as well. But Keith has a separate work computer and play computer, because he has to have it. Like when he is in the office with me, he's on his work. Now it sounds like, oh my God, they have so many computers. But remember, Keith is a computer nerd. He buys his own parts and builds his own computers, and it's super cheap to do it that way.
Yeah.
So he built himself like a POS this is for work. And then he has like a little laptop they're nothing great or spectacular. And then his gaming computer is pretty amazing.
Ooh,
but his desk and his little man space, his little computer space is in a whole different room, because he can't even have his work and gaming on the same apparatus.
That takes so much discipline. Good for him.
So he has to absolutely have separation. And he has a little place that he works in the dining room. Sometimes, like if I'm recording right now, he can't be in here working.
Yeah.
So he takes his laptop out there, but he has this like little space at the dining table that he likes to sit at for that. But then when he's done, it goes away and it becomes the dining table again.
Right.
So guys, don't, if you don't have office space or if you share it with someone, you can always work at a little corner, your dining room table. You can sit at the island of your bar, little corner of your living room. You can create a workspace and then end it. Like they have coffee tables now. We have one that lift up.
Yes, I've seen those. Oh my gosh, those are so cool. Yeah, there's all.
We've never used it. We thought it was going to be for Keith. He's like, no, it's in the living room, and that's not where I want to work because he's so
right.
But if you're someone that can do that, there's so many different ways. If you find that you're not motivated and you're not getting done what you need to get done, you need to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is going to be different for everybody. Some of us, it's going to be, I can't work around my pets because they're distracting me. Some of us need to, get dressed every day. Some of us don't. You have to figure out why you're not what it is. Are you not driving yourself hard enough? Do you not have routines? Are you not sticking to your schedules? Is it your distractions? Are you sad because sales are slow? Are you lonely? And this all ties back into the mental health. But do you need to join a Facebook group and make some friends and talk to some folks to keep you motivated throughout the day?
That's good support anyway. People should do that anyway. You need to have that support regardless. But
yeah. And I mean, a lot of people, like I'm inclusive, but I'm still need human contact to survive. That doesn't mean I want to go outside every day and interact with the real world, but I still want to talk to Kim on Messenger, check in with her at least every other day.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people. Like I say I'm reclusive, but I'm on my Messenger on my phone all the time.
Yeah.
I just don't like to go out there.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be social, but I'm going to do it in here. Not out there. It's a scary place.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. A lot of folks that do this aren't reclusive and aren't hermits and aren't introverts. And so living this kind of a lifestyle is a lot. We'll get into this in the mental health tomorrow, but
yeah, if
you're one of them, your reward probably should be to go out to dinner or to a movie or out somewhere with friends. Because if you crave that human interaction and you're an extrovert and you don't like being home all the time, that should probably be how you're rewarding yourself, is by going out there and interacting, so that you're staying mentally healthy and connected with the world.
Yeah. And see, that's going to be a totally different set of requirements, because the people that have that personality, they're going to be completely different. They're going to have a completely different setup and a different day and routine than that I would have, because I have had people say that, before. It's like, why don't you like to go out? What is wrong? It's like, I'm good.
Yeah, my whole life. Like, even Keith's dad, when we were telling him about that flat tire, he's like, well, I told Keith when he was little he shouldn't spend so much time on the video games. And it's like, he knows how to change a flat tire. It wasn't that he didn't know how because he's a nerd. My back was broke. But it's like people who aren't like us don't understand.
Yeah. And I don't understand it, the other way. I mean, we all get along and we're all, meshed
I just don't, But I've been taking it for my whole life. Like, why don't you go outside and play? No, I'm good. I got this stack of books from the library.
Exactly.
These are my friends. I'm traveling. I'm going to all kinds of places when I read.
It's like, are you sure you feel, are you sure you're not sick? And, you're like, no, I'm good. It's Scholastic Book Fair Day at school. That was me. That was my favorite. Oh, I loved it.
That was my favorite day of the year. Yes. Yeah, and I was an only child too. So
I had a brother, but he didn't count. No.
I
didn't say that. Hi, Mom.
Was completely content to read, and then the Nintendo came out. I like movies and stuff too. I like people.
You like people when you like to have them. I mean, I get it. It's like it just because we are the way we are doesn't mean we don't. We don't love our friends. We're not trying to say, oh, I don't want to be.
Yeah, but like, and Cheryl knows she's left to go to the eBay thing. But she's so good about it because she'll give me 2-3 weeks notice. And because she knows how I am. So she'll say, are you ready? Are you up for another, we call it the Cheryl and Star Day of Fun. I don't know if you don't like Friends, but there was an episode, Joey and, oh my gosh, what was her name? Janice. Joey and Janice's Day of Fun. Cheryl and Star. But she always says, are you ready for another day? And then we'll pick 2 or 3 weeks out. I write it in my bullet journal. I always send her a little picture of it written in there.
Aww.
And I'm like, you're in the schedule. But then I have 3 weeks if I need to rearrange anything on my schedule, if I need to go grocery shopping a different day that week, if I need to get prepared. Yeah. And I think that's why I like the trips, because I have months to get ready and prepare myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't like to go outside of my house, but that's an introverted extrovert or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's like, like you, I don't like to go out and do stuff, but when an event comes along, it's like I work myself up to that, and it's like you get excited, you're good for it, and then but then you go, okay, when I get back, it's 2 months worth of recovery. You know all that's going to happen, and
but you're planning for it. If you called me tonight and said, let's go to dinner, no,
maybe next month.
No, you can't. I'm not like a spontaneous person.
Yeah, I've got my routines, and I don't.
Yeah, so if you call me up tonight and say, do you think next Thursday or the weekend after we could go? I'd say, yeah. Excuse me, pig.
Oh, that was a good one. See, that's why I need to drink more water.
But yeah, like, I don't know. But some people can be spontaneous and some people can't. And I think let me read you. She asked me not to use her name, but I'm going to read something my friend said to me about the way I present myself on YouTube and my Facebook group. I'm going to keep digging. You talk while I dig.
I talk. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Oh, see, now that's the way it always goes. It's like I had so much to say and now I'm completely blank.
I really wanted to share this. I should have had it up ahead of time.
Let me look at my notes. We talked about that. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about having the 2 different browsers, one work browser and one casual browser, but you already do that. So, but at least I know if you do it, I know that it works. So that's something I definitely need to do.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to find it. But basically she said, but what she has always loved about my channel and my group is that I've always explicitly repeated over and over that it's different for everyone. Mm-hmm. And everyone has to find what works for them. I don't come on here and go, I'm so successful. Do it my way or you're a failure. My way may not work for you. My way may not work for anybody but me. You got to find your way. And she said she's always liked that I've said, and that success looks different for different people. So some people may only want to make enough reselling to take their kids to Disney World. Mm-hmm. And some people need to be their full-time job. But even then, within those people, some people need this to be their full-time job, and they're minimalists that want to live in a cabin, 1-bedroom cabin, away from everybody. And to them, that is the ultimate peak of success. And some people want Lamborghinis, and some people want big houses and big cars, and that's when they know they've made it. And everyone is so completely different that what you need reselling to be for you versus what I need to be for me. And what, to me, success is not flashy houses and cars. Yeah. When I have all my Stephen King's finally in hard book, that's when I've made it. You know what I mean? When I've got all the consoles and all the video games and
yes, exactly.
But it looks different. And I've never come on here and I don't show numbers. I don't postulate. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't do any of that.
That's why we all love you so much. You are you. You are yourself, and you put it out there. No, you do. You put it out there, and then, like you said, you don't try to make people, say this is the only way to do it. It's not.
It's
and
not.
You know that, and that's not what you try to serve up. It's like,
and even that, like, there's no one way to look successful either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know people who every time they walk out of the house look like they can't afford clothing and are some of the richest people in the world.
Yes.
Not everybody has to look or appear like they have money, that they have money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, that's fine too. Like if your life's goal has been to have a garage full of cars, good for you. If you wanted to spend it on China plates, I don't care. But there's no one way to be successful or look successful. And so I just wanted to say, she's like, make sure you say this. And then, so like the Facebook group that I run, she thinks that's why it's so different from other ones. Because come on, guys, there's a lot of reselling groups out there full of guys who come in beating their chests and all trying to outdo each other and brag. And they get that attitude of my way or the highway. Yeah. And there's none of that in my group. There's no postulating. There's no showing off. There's no bragging. And I built that way by design because I know there's no one way. And just because I like to sell jeans doesn't mean you're going to like to sell jeans. But I can tell you about some jeans.
I learned how to measure jeans from her.
I can tell you about the stuff I know, but I'm the first to admit, like when I found this, I don't know nothing about things I don't know nothing about. I find sports shirts and I got to call my... Listen, I don't know what this evil is. What is that? Hockey? What is it? Volleyball? It's a sport. But then they know they can call me and say, who's this superhero? And I'll be like, oh, that's so-and-so from Marvel or DC.
Exactly. So, that's actually what I was going to say earlier when you said, while I'm doing this talk, and I couldn't think of what I was going to say. Well, I think of it now, of course. But and is the fact that our community is we're so different, but yet we're so alike. We're so alike that we all get along so well.
Sorry, my eyeballs are hurting.
Okay. Don't look. And we're so accepting of each other. And we can, it's like we can be any way we are. And we just accept each other that way. And I think it's just one of those things another one of those things that I love about our community. You can be who you are and you're accepted. There's just
there's no right way. But at the end of the day, I will say that everyone, regardless, needs a routine and a schedule. What that routine and schedule is going to look like is going to depend. That's where we differ. I do fully believe every single person needs a routine and a schedule. But what that looks like if you have small children in school, maybe you put them on the school bus and work for a couple hours, go volunteer at school, come home, work for a couple hours, whatever that means. If you have a lot of pets, if you live on a farm. Everyone's life and the amount of people in their lives and whether or not they're parents, or maybe you're taking care of your parents at this point in your life. Maybe you have nobody, I'm not saying you don't have nobody, but like maybe you live alone and you don't have a significant other. And so you have more free time. And maybe you're doing this to pay off a car or college or a house, or maybe this is your full-time income, or maybe you were forced into it because you're disabled like me. Maybe you chose it like Kim. Maybe you fell into it. Every situation is different, but you still need routines. You need a schedule. I'm serious.
Listen to her.
To stay motivated, I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Because on days, and I'm not even talking about like headaches or backaches. There's days where I wake up and I just don't feel like it. We all have it. And it doesn't even have to be that it's slow sales. There's just some days where I wake up and I'm like, oh man, I feel like doing nothing today. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to work. I want to go read my new library.
That was me this morning. How'd you know? No.
I feel like that all the time, but then I'll lay in bed for 10 or 15 minutes. And sometimes I'll allow myself to read a chapter or two of whatever book I'm in before I get out of bed, because I read on my phone. I have Libby, which is an app that allows you to check out. I talk about it all the time. You check out library books for free. And then I have Kindle, which is like $9.99 a month. But that's my streaming service. Some people have Netflix.
There you go.
Ours, Kindle Unlimited. But if I, I don't want to get out of bed, I'm tired, I'll read a chapter or two. And by the time I'm halfway through that second chapter, I already feel guilty and restless. And I'm like, I need to get out of bed. I need to brush my teeth. I need to wash my face. I need to get started. I need to get my routine going.
Yes. Guilt is a powerful thing.
Because it's those built-in habits and routines. And when I'm laying there reading and I'm like, oh, come on, I need to start my day.
Yeah.
I get up and do it. And then I know, well, the first thing I have to do is shipping. Because you got to get that out there for the postman or go to the post office, wherever you do. And by the time that's done with, I'm like, well, I'm already in the office. I guess I'll take some.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. I swear, I'm telling you, that was me today, guys. Seriously. I mean, I woke up and I was like, nope. But you do that for maybe 5 minutes at the most, and then that guilt comes in, and you're like, no, this isn't how it goes, Kim. Come on, And once you get up, yes, and once you get up and then you start feeling better, because you think, oh my God, I can't feel like this all day. There's no way. But,
and when you have a specific order of things that you do,
yes,
one bite at a time, the worst things first, get them out of the way. And then guess what?
Good.
By the end of the day, you can look back and go, oh my gosh, look at everything I did. I really feel accomplished. Now I can go fiddle fart around.
There you go. Yeah. See, that's the goal, to be able to fiddle fart around.
The important thing is the routines and the schedules, and that goes for outside of reselling as well. There was something else super important I wanted to say before we let people go.
Yeah, I got my list here, and I keep
I have like,
if I missed anything.
Have strong routines that you adhere to, put goals and accomplishments within eyesight. So that's the dry erase board. You always want to see where you want to have eyeballs on your goals. Reward yourself, avoid burnout by balancing work and life. Avoid distractions, contingency plans. Oh, get up and go for a walk, or go talk to a friend for 10 or 15 minutes if you're really feeling down, and then go back to work. But you got to make those friends.
Take your breaks, but make sure they're not too long. Here's something that helps me, is to remember why you wanted to get motivated or reach that goal in the first place. Yes. Sometimes we lose track, lose sight of that. And sometimes we have to just bring ourselves back in, and go, okay, why am I doing this? Remind yourself and meditate on that if you have to, to remind yourself.
I'm sure why. For Kim, she's like, I don't want to go back to the corporate world.
Yes. That right there. See that? I'm done. The motivational. Yeah.
If I sit here and don't work, I'm not going to make enough money, and I got to go back to the corporate world, and I don't want to do it.
No, that's not
an option.
No, never again. No way.
So, you just gotta bribe yourself. Was Doug telling a story about somebody who ate one jelly bean or one M&M?
Oh, that's right. What was that? I don't remember.
Somebody who knew Maggie. She would eat one M&M or something every listing.
Yeah, and then it was Maggie Weber. They were talking about M&Ms, and then they got talking about, one M&M is one handful to me, or something like that. But reward yourself, bribe.
And that works with everything. Like someone in the chat earlier here, Denise Coffee, she does not get her iced coffee until she's had 3 iced waters. So it's not just with reselling. If you like soda, say I get a soda if I drink my intake of water. If you like if you like going for walks, say I have to do half my work and then I get to go out and take a walk, you know? So I don't know what else I can say because I think we've covered it all.
I think so.
Yeah, and the eBay thing is going on right now. If you guys want to, if you did register, I think you'd register. I'm going to pop over. Trish and Diane have a room.
I got my link. I'll have to find my link, but yeah.
So, all right. Well, if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns that you think of later, don't hesitate to come back and leave a comment here. Best way is probably to go to the Facebook group, Flippin Hippos Reseller Pod. You can tag Kim. You can tag me. And if you feel down and if you feel like you need motivation or you need help, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. It doesn't have to be to me. Exactly. It can be to Kim. It can be to Clara. It can be to anybody in the reselling community that you are friends with. Come into my group and just make a post. I've seen people do that before. And you don't get beat up in my group. Everyone is so nice there.
Yes, that's it. You know, if that is like Star said, just come in and say, hey guys, I'm having a bad day, or you know, my motivation is low. You know, I just need a little bit of encouragement here. Oh my goodness, it's gonna shower down on you. So yeah, just reach out. That's the hardest part, that you know, people think they can't.
And if you can't,
you can, and you need to.
You need to. And even if you're struggling with how do I start a routine? How do I make an order? How do I do my to-do list? How do I do a schedule? Just make a post. I mean, there's 3 really great groups out there. There's my group. There's the List Perfectly group. It's for List Perfectly, but they talk about everything. And they're very supportive.
We do.
They're very supportive. And then there's the Boss Up group that's run by Vicky, Katie, and Teresa. Those are the 3 groups I feel like have the most supportive members of the community that aren't going to belittle you for stupid questions or for being new or for not knowing something or being naive. I keep doing quotes. But
no, seriously, that, you know, those 3 are the most supportive groups I have ever been part of. And
no offense to anybody else's groups.
Yeah.
I'm not calling anybody out for having a bad group, but I can say that there are a lot of other groups that will have just not the sense of positivity. They have members that aren't so nice. And it's no fault sometimes of the person who owns it, but
right. And that, you know, sometimes it's hard to admin a group too. When you have, especially when your numbers grow so big, it's hard for those people to keep track of a group. So we're not being, you know, negative or anything about other groups, but we're just saying these are the ones that we know for sure are going to be
these are the ones that we know for sure are positive, supportive, and you can ask any questions or reach out and say, I just need help, and you're not going to get belittled. No one's going to run in and say, well, I do 600,000 a day on YouTube. What's your problem?
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with you? I don't understand. I'm doing great. Well, okay. Yeah, whatever. And they're lying. Come on, really?
Yeah. But yeah, I would say if you ever find that you're lacking motivation or you just need help creating a routine, if you just need somebody to tell you to shut the F up and get to work.
Yes. Shut up the list.
Reach out. Ask for help. Don't be afraid. And then tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. On List Perfectly.
Wait, I forgot different time zones.
Yeah. We'll be live with Clara. And we're going to talk a little bit about mental health, which ties in with today's topic.
Yeah.
But stay motivated, guys. Come on. It can't be bad forever. Whatever it is that you're going through, slow sales, ingrown toenail. Whatever you
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There really is.
Nothing lasts forever. What is that saying? This too shall end. So
there you go.
All right, Kim, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Can we say bye to Boner McWienerson?
Yeah. Come here, Boner McWeenie. Come here.
Yeah. And see, another thing, be silly. It'll keep you happy, right?
Hi.
Bye, Boner.
Bye, guys. He's a little stiff, or he'd wave.
Thanks to Kim for coming on. Thanks to everybody in the chat.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Star.
Bye. Go be productive. Go make some money and stay motivated.
We love
everybody.
you. We love
Bye.
you. We love you.